In today's video, I get to fly Qatar's iconic QSuites to ask a simple question. Is it still the best business class in the world? I'll tell you at the end of the video, as I fly from Amsterdam to Doha aboard one of their Boeing 777s. It'll take about 6 hours to cover just over 3,000 miles. Let's go. That's right, we're here in Amsterdam Airport Schiphol, and today I've got the fantastic privilege of flying Qatar Airways QSuites about 6 hours all the way down to Doha. I've already got my boarding pass and my lounge invitation from the transfer desk here, so it's time to head to the Oneworld lounge, which is a lounge I've not actually been to before. I'm looking forward to it. The first step is to find the lounge. I remember the old British Airways lounge really well, and thankfully the new Oneworld lounge occupies the same space and effectively replaces it. This is an impressive lounge which doesn't have a single airline brand and instead serves all of the Oneworld departures from Amsterdam equally. British Airways, American Airlines, Finnair, Oman Air, who just joined, Royal Jordanian, and of course Qatar, who have 8 flights a week from here. There's a range of half-decent hot food options, but the real attraction of this lounge is the pleasant public spaces, alongside some private work booths and, not to mention, an excellent view, mostly of the local competition, mind you. This lounge is a new Oneworld concept, opening in 2024. There's also a similar new lounge in Seoul, which I've not been to yet, and I'm not entirely sure if I prefer the homogeneous pleasantry of the umbrella Oneworld lounge, or whether I prefer going to individual airline lounges, which can feel much more full of character and personalised. But either way, this is a good place to hang out before your flight. And although some alcohol is self-pour, you should really check out the central feature here, the bar, which has these cute birds holding light bulbs you might otherwise miss. And here's our ride over to Qatar today, a Boeing 777-300ER. Qatar operates 57 of this type of aircraft. This one is 11 years old and comes with a whopping 358 seats, 42 business class QSuites and 316 economy seats. Yep, there are just 2 classes. One thing I always find surprising about Qatar is that, unlike local rivals Emirates, they still haven't created a premium economy product. So I always feel conflicted about the possibility of making a Qatar Airways QSuite review, because it is such a hyped product. It really is, so people say, the best business class in the world. The seat is now about 8 years old, and I have not flown Qatar Airways QSuite since 2018. Well, that is a really long time ago, and I've got to say I'm really looking forward to checking up on this product. We've got about 6 hours in the seat today, down to Doha. Looking forward to a nice early evening flight here out of Amsterdam. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark, an award-winning VPN, or virtual private network. There are loads of great reasons to use Surfshark, from leveraging lower prices online to improving your online security. The more you travel, the more you'll become aware of situations where foreign governments might want to spy on what you're doing online, or criminals might want to access your devices from insecure internet. Surfshark is an essential first line of defense, using different VPNs to make you more difficult to track online. There's nothing quite like browsing Wi-Fi while you're away, but is it always safe, and are your movements protected from being tracked? And another thing, when I get to my hotel tonight, will I be able to watch YouTube in the same way that I do when I'm at home, and can I access my favourite streaming services? For example, I've wanted to catch up with the England women's football team's European Championships triumph, but if I access the BBC from overseas, quite often the video content is simply blocked, and that's where Surfshark comes in. Change the location to the UK and hey presto, access to the video is restored. It really could not be simpler. It's simply 2 button pushes. And that's why Surfshark will always be part of my travel arsenal. And of course it's available to you, my subscribers, at a very special deal. Go to surfshark.com/wingingit or enter code WINGINIT at checkout to get 4 extra months for free of Surfshark VPN. Hello. Perfect, thank you. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. You'll join a community of hundreds of thousands of other trip report enthusiasts just like you. I'm not really sure what was going on here. After a bit of a delay, pre-boarders, who should have got on first, were being held while business and priority passengers overtook them. Not sure I agree with that, and I felt a bit awkward overtaking them. Well, here we go, finally off to Qatar.
Welcome aboard.
Hello.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard Qatar's QSuites, arranged in a 1-2-1 configuration. Forward-facing seats are by the aisle and have a little more storage, but today I've gone for a rearward-facing seat by the window. The suite has a closing door, so there's not much in it privacy-wise, but it is nice having the window so close and easy to look out of. And isn't it a fantastic looking seat? It still looks cutting edge, even 8 years after it was first introduced. The only previous time I've flown QSuites, I had a forward-facing seat, so I'm curious to see whether I prefer the rearward-facing one today. At my seat are a themed pillow showcasing one of many destinations that Qatar Airways has to offer, and the bedding, which we'll check out later in the journey. As is par for the course for Qatar Airways, the crew were excellent and proactive, and within a few minutes of sitting down I had an amenity kit, a welcome drink, a refreshing towel and also the menu. I'll show you that a little bit later, but the food is certainly a highlight on Qatar Airways every time I fly. So here I am back in the QSuite, and I've got a lovely 6 hours ahead of me in this fantastic business class suite all the way down to Qatar today. I've got the signature lime and mint. Cheers. It's growing on me. We turn southeast after takeoff and head into the setting sun over the beautiful, shimmering countryside. The soaked polder below couldn't be more different than the forbidding desert climate of Qatar. Arabic coffee and dates were served within 15 minutes, and I had the free Wi-Fi working already. Checking out our neighbouring traffic, it still fascinates me that this is possible. What better way to begin a flight than a glass of the fizzy stuff? This is usually about $100 to $150 a bottle, so it's good to get your money's worth. So we're here, 35,000 feet. It's a beautiful day for flying. I've got a glass of rosé champagne. The door is closed, and it's quite easy to see why people think this is the best business class in the world. What can be said about the Qatar QSuite that hasn't been said already? Well, it is a superb way to fly, and one of the best designed seats in the sky. It is in fact so good you do wonder what the next innovation in business class flying could possibly be. Everything feels within reach and nothing feels awkward to use, although I will surprise you here, I did prefer the forward-facing seat for the extra storage and the, I'm not sure what you'd call it, the extra seating area to lounge in or place your pillows. It does also feel more spacious due to being further away from the window. And I know that going for the seat closer to the aisle is kind of frowned upon in these circles, but there you go. Still, the rearward-facing seat is top drawer, and I still love it. Qatar offers a comprehensive pre-order meal service for main courses, with every option available to pre-select if you're in business class. And the food, as usual, was superb. From the amuse-bouche starter of salmon, caviar and olive oil, to the dill marinated prawns and paprika scallop. And not forgetting Qatar's excellent presentation. I know the fake candle is a gimmick, and it's a rare gimmick I happen to really enjoy, and I feel it really adds to the experience. My main course of Qatari Hamur Mashkool was both local and created by pioneering Qatari female chef Aisha Al-Tamimi. This was a warm, comforting and filling choice, and I'm glad I pre-selected it. If there's one criticism of Qatar Airways I have, it's that it can occasionally feel anonymous, and having these local dishes is a great option to have. This was an early evening flight, so I didn't need much sleep, but I did get a nap on the fully flat 6-foot bed. Qatar has best-in-class bedding, although no mattress topper was available, which is quite unusual. All long QSuites flights should have it, and I wonder if it's because this wasn't an overnight flight. Qatar Airways really makes bank on its attention to detail, which is also apparent in the bathrooms. They're spotlessly clean, with some good quality toiletries on offer. There is even a sanitising barrier on the loo, which I guess gets replaced after every passenger. Now that's service. As far as amenities go, this was an attractive, if single-use, carrier, with a good selection of freebies from French perfume house Diptyque. Of course, there's a mesmerising selection of entertainment on offer, although I'm one of, I guess, quite few passengers who choose to watch the local documentaries. This one is about Mashrib, a downtown regeneration project opposite my hotel, and there's some great footage in here from the times of the British Protectorate, and a few of these really old buildings still exist today. A pre-landing meal of pasta with veal and falafel was served, and this small portion was ideal to tide me over and ensure I'd not need to eat before bedtime. We're due to land at 11:35 p.m. A selection of upmarket Swiss chocolates completes the in-flight service, which has been faultless.
We trust you are having a pleasant flight with us tonight. We'll be starting our listening to Doha in 15 minutes from now, where the local time in Doha is 10:22 p.m. local time. The expected time of arrival will be at 11:05 p.m. local time. If you need
Qatar QSuites still delivers and impresses in 2025. It is light years ahead of European and American carriers, and still ahead of its regional competition in Etihad and Emirates. For my one-way ticket on this flight, I paid 43,000 avios, plus about €190 in fees and taxes. Is it the world's best business class? Well, ANA's The Room might have something to say about that, and I don't think you can fit a cigarette paper between the two, but they are both excellent products, and in my view, the best two business class products available that you can fly in 2025. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to go to surfshark.com/wingingit for 4 extra months of Surfshark. Cheers again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.